What if the next ruler of Dubai was picked in total secret? No royal meeting, no public announcement, not even a heads up to the crown prince himself. Just one quiet signature behind palace doors, and suddenly everything changes. This isn't made up, it really happened. A royal move that shocked Dubai's most powerful family. Because when Sheikh Hamdan, the popular crown prince, found out his own son had secretly been chosen to replace him without him knowing, it started a silent war in the palace. A father's trust was broken, a wife's ambitions came back, and one unexpected phone call revealed a secret so big it could rip the royal family apart. But how did this all start? And who's really in control inside Dubai's most private palace? Let's find out. It all began with a quiet rumor, the kind that spreads fast through palace halls. At first, no one believed it. How could something this big, something that changes history, happen in secret? But then came the truth. Sheikh Mohammed, the ruler of Dubai, and Sheikh Hamdan's father had signed a private deal, skipping all royal traditions. He didn't call a meeting or talk to the royal council. He simply chose his grandson, little Mohammed, to be the next crown prince of Dubai. Not just talk, it was official, signed, sealed. What made it even more surprising? The document didn't go to Sheikh Hamdan. It wasn't shared with royal advisors. No, it was quietly given to Sheikh Athani's father. This wasn't just a family message. It was a legal document that could shape the country's future. And Sheikh Hamdan had no clue it even existed. After weeks of tension, Sheikh Athani returned to the palace, but she seemed different. The woman once known for her drive and bold moves now acted calm and gentle. No fights, no demands, just quiet and a small, knowing smile. She walked through the palace like someone who had already won, but never said a word about the rumored deal. No parties, no big talk. Just calm, maybe too calm, because if the document was real, that meant her son, little Mohammed, was now the future ruler of Dubai, at least on paper, and her family's place in the royal world was locked in. To outsiders, everything looked peaceful again, but to Sheikh Hamdan, it felt like something big was coming. On the outside, everything looked fine. No more fights, no drama. Tani was acting like a supportive wife and mom, but Hamdan felt something was off. Tani had always pushed for power, always had her say in every decision about legacy and the future, and now all of a sudden she had nothing to say, no interest in court affairs, no questions about their son's future. It didn't make sense. Hamdan's gut, sharpened by years of palace life, was telling him something was wrong. The silence, her new attitude, the timing, it all felt off. He tried to ignore it, told himself maybe she really had changed, but deep down he knew something was being hidden. Then came the call, quiet, unexpected, life-changing. One of Sheikh Hamdan's most trusted lawyers called him. His voice was calm, but Hamdan could hear the worry behind it. This wasn't just a legal heads-up, it was a warning. He told Hamdan about the document, the one Sheikh Mohammed signed, the one that named little Mohammed as the next crown prince, without Hamdan knowing. It wasn't gossip, it was real and official. Hamdan was speechless. His heart raced, his mind spun. But above all, he felt one thing, betrayed. How could his own father make such a huge decision, the kind that shapes Dubai's future, and not tell him? And worse, how could Thani's family stay silent about it? He hung up the phone, sat in silence, but inside a storm had begun. That night, Hamdan couldn't sleep. The palace felt colder. The silence felt heavy. He needed answers, and only one person could give them. He found Sheikh Athani in a private room. The space was still, but full of tension. He looked at her, not as her husband, but as the crown prince. "Did you know about the deal?" he asked. For a brief second, her usually calm face froze. Her eyes shifted, but then she softly said, "I don't know what you're talking about." Wrong answer. Hamdan raised his voice. Her denial didn't calm him. It made things worse. The fight exploded. Angry words, blame, silence. Nothing got fixed, only more damage. The palace was now split by quiet lines of mistrust. But Hamdan wasn't done yet. Still desperate for the truth, Hamdan made another call, this time to Sheikh Thani's father. If anyone outside the royal family had the document, it was him. The man answered like nothing was wrong. But once Hamdan brought up the agreement, his tone changed. He paused just long enough to show he knew before denying it. He said it was all a misunderstanding, that no such document existed. Maybe Hamdan just heard a bad rumor, but Hamdan didn't believe a word of it. The lawyer who called him had nothing to gain by lying. He had no reason to stir up trouble. And now, the more people denied it, the more obvious the truth became. Everyone was dancing around the same secret, pretending it wasn't real, hoping Hamdan would give up. But he couldn't, not when it was about his son, not when Dubai's future was at stake. The truth was getting clearer and darker. There was only one person left to face, the man at the center of it all, Sheikh Mohammed. But this wasn't just about politics. This was personal. Hamdan had always looked up to his father as a leader, a mentor, a role model. Their relationship was built on trust, tradition, and their shared dream for Dubai. And now, that future had been reshaped without him. The idea of walking into his father's chamber and demanding the truth wasn't easy. It wasn't just about power. It was about family, loyalty, and legacy. What if he was wrong? What if his father had a plan he just didn't understand yet? Or what if he was right, and his own father had cut him out of the biggest decision of his life? Hamdan stood at a crossroads. He had to choose. Protect the peace or uncover the truth. One conversation could bring them back together or break the royal family for good. And now the next move was his. Now, Sheikh Hamdan faces a choice that could change everything. Stay quiet and keep the peace, or confront his father and risk tearing apart the royal foundation he was raised to protect. What's going on inside Sheikh Mohammed's mind? Was this a smart move to protect Dubai's future, or a quiet betrayal of his own son? And most importantly, what happens if the truth finally comes out? In our next episode, we'll show what happens after this royal standoff, and how the family reacts when secrets can't stay hidden anymore. So stay tuned. This story is just getting started. And if you want to be the first to know what's really happening inside Dubai's most powerful palace, hit subscribe, tap the bell icon, and don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching.